you've just got to go out there and do your best. And like, they'll have prepared well. They've been consistent in the build-up to games. Do you know, like, what the plan is, what the message is from the coaches, and they've just got to go out there. Even though it's going to be, look, really tough first half of the year, they'll be looking for a positive second part to the season. And looking forward to seeing if this club can get on a good footing. That's all you can say, really, Mark.
Yeah, Saints about to get us underway then. Carl Felt, a former Cowboys star, gets us underway. A wicked bounce, but Salford deal with a kickoff, and here's Chris Hill. Drives it forward, 10 out from the line. Saints had a couple of big wins, didn't they, against the Dragons and Huddersfield before they went to Hull Kingston Rovers last time out. They were beaten pretty comprehensively there, so they'll want to bounce back here. Salford with Ormond Royd. He's really put his hand up this year, hasn't he?
He's been brilliant. I think he's really led from the front. And do you know what? Like, the DNA of Salford over the years has always been to play, throw the ball around. I don't think they can change that in this game.
Well, now works its way to Shorrock, so he gets it to Masters. Just had his line cut down there. Couldn't get the ball away, and he's tackled 30 out from his own line. Last one then. Meters hard to come by early on. Can Briley get them downfield with a kick that floats towards Saylor? He leaps up and catches it, and already Saints on halfway, and they're going to break down that far side. Well, a big win defensively for St Helens. They start 40 out.
Yeah, and don't switch off then. Just one of the Salford players just switched off on the wing then. They go down that short side, they'll take the space.
A few boos there for Dion Cross, who left Salford to join St Helens earlier in the campaign. They haven't forgotten here.
I don't think they will for the next 79 minutes.
No, they won't. Ball works its way across to Lomax. He in turn finds Cross. One-handed pass is knocked up in the air. I think that's going to be another set. No, it'll be play on because Saints got the ball back anyway. So a fresh start here. 25 out. Here's Wormsley. Little step taken to ground well by Shorrock and Ormond Royd. Clark waits. Here's Morgan Knowles. Offers the dummy. Inside the 20 he goes. So no Jack Wellesby today. Here now is Lomax. Short pass to Sirinen. Bumps off one and he's under the post. Salford were appealing for a forward pass. Sirinen didn't hang around. He crashes in to score. First points inside the opening 3 minutes. Saints lead by 4.
Well, Saints, when they get in that field position, you know, the fans thought that there was a forward pass, a couple of forward passes in the build-up to this. And Saints are a side that do like to play on the advantage line with those flat passes. Big Curtis Sirinen, and really impressed with him ever since he's signed, really. That was the first one, and that was the second one. I thought that second one in particular was a forward pass to Sirinen. But it wasn't called for, such as no. The referee thought that was a forward pass. Well, they get some fortune that's gone their way, and Johnny Lomax just a double pump of the ball, gets a couple of defenders interested. The space opens up, and it's all about time and space.
Certainly is when you looks out. Sometimes you looks out. And George Whitby has led a good start to life in the Super League. He's lining up his first shot at goal from about 14 metres out, just in line with the left upright. And he adds the extras, and Saints have an early advantage of 6 points to 0.
Well, the Salford fans sound like they're going to be giving the ref a bit of a hard time during this game, along with Dion Cross. But Curtis Sirinen, well, he's the man who goes over, scores the first try. I said sometimes you've got to ride your luck, haven't you? Curtis Sirinen manages to get rid of Issa Masters, gets round Ormond Royd, scores the opening points after a couple of minutes. And Salford now just have to build into this game, knock out a few good sets with the ball and without the ball.
He will collect it, gets it away to Wormsley, runs it forward. Salford will be hoping to put the squeeze on here. Well, the ball's come free and they're going to get it back here.
That's great work, isn't it? Great work from 4 Salford defenders.
I think Wormsley wanted to challenge it, but there's no stoppage in play. Now there's a penalty, so now will they look to challenge this? And I think they are going to challenge this.
Chris. We've got a captain's challenge. We've got the slow set restart into a professional foul. However, they're challenging a possible ball still in the lead-up. We're going to challenging the ref, we're not challenging the ref. I understand that. Brian, they're going to. We'll see the outcome of the challenge.
Okay, we have a captain's challenge. Salford are challenging the St Helens are challenging the decision of a knock-on. Okay, so Walmsley's in possession of the ball. Is there a pull on the ball? Okay, can't see much. The ball's loose at this point, but I can't see how the ball has come out. Go to camera 1. Okay, is there a pull on the ball by Ormonroyd? He's around the ball. Again, I can't see the ball on that angle. Go to camera 2. Okay, got a better view of the ball now. Ormonroyd is on the ball. He's on the ball. And he then pulls the ball out of the grasp of Alex Walmsley. His challenge successful.
Well, there's no big screens in the ground here today, but the video referee's got that right. He had to be patient there, Chris Kendall, but he got the angle, and well, Walmsley was adamant, wasn't he? As soon as the ball came out of his grasp, it had been pinched, Terry. Well,
he's hard to stop, isn't he, Alex Walmsley? And you just got to get hold of anything you can, and Ormonroyd gets hold of the ball, knowing that Alex Walmsley's got an offload in his game as well. Tries to prevent him moving forward. Come up with a good contact initially with Matty Foster. Unfortunately, give the penalty away. But again, they just get the ball 40 metres from the line, Saints. And Walmsley again just lining up to carry.
Yeah, here now is Lomax, gets it away. Lees is racked up just short of the halfway line. Not the best start for Salford then, 6 gone. Here's Whitby now, short pass to Whitley. Plenty of red shirts in the picture there.
They're trying to be as physical as they can and slow that ruck down, aren't they?
Just look, when there's so many bodies in the ruck area, it doesn't half look as though there's space on the far side. They don't know ball's free again here, and he's going to get another penalty.
Oh, second carry that he's made in the last minute. He's got 2 penalties on the back of it, Alex Walmsley. Said big, physical, every time he carries the ball. Makes more meters than any other prop forward in the competition. You can see as you're trying to take him down, as you're trying to turn him over, Easton Masters, the rip.
That was silly, wasn't it? Tackle was finished anyway, and then they give away another set. Here's Whitby, short, gets it away. Saylor joined in the line. That's a good tackle. Good one-on-one shot goes in there. Briley, it was in the way. And now he is in the way of the ruck area, but he manages to get himself out of there. They're 10 out here, Saints looking to double their lead. Clark has got Saylor to his right. Whitby goes right as well. Again, it's a painfully slow play of the ball. Here now is Clark. Short pass to Saylor, taken off his feet with a high one. And that's another penalty. That's 3 successive penalties in the last 90 seconds.
Yeah, well, Chris Hankinson, it was on that occasion. You just hit, you get your bodies in front, you just try and get the shot. He knows he's give a penalty away. And I think you'd rather take a penalty like that for trying to be physical than the strip that Masters did.
Here's Walmsley, eyeing up the try line. Good tackle from Shorrocks. They've got numbers to the left again, but they're coming right here with Whitby. Saylor, ball over the top, caught one-handed by Felt, and he'll score. Been out of the team for 10, but he's back with a bang. And Saints have got 10 points in the opening 8.5 minutes here. Felt on the score sheet for Saints.
Well, you pull the trigger out wide and you jam in trying to close the play down. You've got to get it right. Too much space on the edge for someone with experience like Kyle Felt. And it goes in for a try. Doesn't need any second chances. North Queensland Cowboy all-time record try scorer with 151 in his NRL career. And you can tell when he's starting to win the rucks when Darryl Clark gets out. They get the penalty from Hankinson. Saints in this area of the field, they'll always look to play. And it was a good ball over the top from Tristan Saylor. And he gives it to that man. Like I said, back in the side, missed the last 10 games. Still knows how to finish. All that experience is there. And that's a big start in the opening 9 minutes for Saints.
Yeah.
They've not helped themselves though, really, Salford.
No, they haven't. Too many penalties. Just cannot afford to keep conceding penalties so early in the piece here. And this, a tough kick for Whitby out on the sideline as he looks to make it a 12-point deficit. The extras then would be. He's pulled that one across the face of the post, so it remains 10 points to 0, but it's a point a minute for Saints so far.
Yeah, and you get what Salford are trying to do. They're trying to be really physical as much as they can. And Saints in this area of the field, 10 metres from the line, they'll always look to play. They'll always throw that ball over the top if it presents itself. Alex Walmsley come up with 2 carries. He earned 2 penalties on the back of it. Salford just couldn't control the next few plays. Chris Hankinson giving another penalty away, and the Saints staff will be pretty happy with what they've seen in the opening 10.
Here's Walmsley then, runs it forward, tackled 15 off the line. These two meeting twice in the next 3 weeks in the Super League. Bit of a quirk in the fixture list there. Suriname just outside the 20. Oh, that was high. Another penalty. Points aplenty over at the DIY Kitchen Stadium, where Wakefield entertain Lee right now, and it's Lee who lead by 18 points to 6 over in that one.
Well, Morgan Knowles not making much about it as he comes over the top. It goes over the shoulder.
Continues, I won't be afraid to sit players down.
Well, the ref
must improve. We've got the great opportunity now. Have a word, get the message across, improve the discipline.
Well, James Vella telling Ryan Briley your side needs to improve the discipline.
I'm saying the ref just having a word now there with the captain that he's trying to work with both sets of players and make it an enjoyable game for the viewers at home and the fans that have turned up in the stadium.
Make that effort, work with me here.
Well, again, putting themselves under pressure.
They don't want it to be a good-looking game, do they? They want it to be scrappy and scruffy and broken up a little bit.
That is it, as sloppy as they can. Look at that whack from Joe Shorrocks and Chris Hill into Matt Whitley. They want to get numbers in, slow that ruck down, lie on top. Unfortunately, Saints want to play the game with a bit of speed.
Yeah, that's a good run from Lees. Here now is Whitby into the line. Hill grabs him gleefully, puts him to the ground inside the 20. So bright start for Saints. Here's Knowles, here's Walmsley, only the fullback to beat, and he's not going to tackle him, he's in. Walmsley's over. He's caused all sorts of havoc early on with his carries, and now he's on the try-scoring sheet. And Saints lead by 14 points to 0. More Salford ill-discipline leads to more St Helens points.
Yeah, well, not helping themselves, and he's had a big start to the game, hasn't he? Alex Walmsley, on his 300th Saints appearance, comes up with a try, manages to get rid of a defender, goes round the fullback and scores a simple try, really. And opportunities are going to be aplenty if Salford don't just clean up with the attitude, really, to make it as sloppy and slow as they can. But they've got to try and work with the referee and be disciplined. Alex Walmsley, look at that rampaging run from him. You're not going to stop him so close to the line on this monumental game for him.
Whitby then will look to add the extras, but Walmsley is on the board. Can young Mr. Whitby add another couple of points here? Salford just stood underneath their posts. So watch and wait for Whitby to add the extras, and he duly obliges. 16 points to 0, and you have to say the worst possible start for Salford.
Yeah, the Saints are playing off plenty of power generated by that man Morgan Knowles as well. When he took a carry, didn't make a big deal about it when he got the penalty, and Alex Walmsley Well, 15 metres out, just has the speed, the power to get through. I wouldn't even say it was really change of direction or anything from the big man. 35 he might be, but he's still got plenty in those legs, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, he likes to try, doesn't he? He might get another carry here from the restart. Here he goes.
Keep him rolling, boys.
Lomax gets it away, and Walmsley makes his way up to the 20. Well, it looked a tough ask at the start, and that task is just getting bigger and bigger. Good tackle, Ormonroyd. Shorrock's in the middle as well.
Wait, boys, wait!
Legally this time they slow the play of the ball down. Here's Matt Whitley, former Widnes and Dragon star.
You're on top. Now that's you.
Does the play it? Does play it. Here's Clark out of dummy half. Looks, oh, he had to nose. He gets it away though, and here they go flooding through the middle. Sailor wanted it. There are almost too many Saints players that got in each other's way. Here's Clark again. Gets it away. Good initial tackle from Salford, who are hanging on here. Last one. Did just about enough there as Saints were looking for another try. Whitby will go high. A tester for Vaughan. The Saints low knee felt up against him. Ball batted. It's gone forward, and Salford will gleefully get it back. And they will get the ball back 10 off their own line. They were fractured in the middle, but they clung on.
Yeah, it's not a bad set though, is it, for Saints? On the back of scoring some points. Kick to the corner, putting some pressure on the winger and the fullback, really trapping him in the corner. And anything that goes up, you make it into a contest, and really Hunting now front loading their efforts in defence.
Here is Vaughan. Saints low knee.
Surrender. Stand there. Don't go early.
To Wigan next season.
Harry Robertson, get it back, mate.
Carried forward by the Leeds low knee, Toby Warren. They'll play it now. Salford working their way forward here. Short pass from Briley, and now it's Salford who get a penalty.
Oh, they were desperate. They've been desperate for a penalty, haven't they? Want to get that good field position where they can ask some questions themselves, and Saints just guilty of being offside. You can just see over, I think it was young George Whitby that was pulled up from the referee.
Morgan finds touch, and Salford get their first chance to get over the halfway line with ball in hand. Here they go now. Strong carry to get the set off and running. Down below us by Wright. Morgan drops it back to Ormonroyd. He's hit hard by Walmsley.
No, there's not many times this year that he's been driven backwards when he's been carrying the ball, Ormonroyd.
And the problem that Salford has got is they've spent pretty much the opening 16 minutes defending, so the Saints' defensive line are full of energy, aren't they, early
pretty
on
fresh,
here?
aren't they? Pretty fresh, and you can see that.
Masters goes to ground with the ball. He's fighting to get it, wants a quick play of the ball. He gets the ball away to Morgan. Briley waits out wide. Briley takes on the line. He had support as well. Young Connell, the fullback, was just on his shoulder. Last one. Morgan's going to send it downfield, but Sailor's got it. No pressure on him at all there. That was a bit of a poor last play there from Salford. They had a little bit more time than they thought.
And that was the difference. When Saints kicked the ball, they put pressure on Johnny Vaughan, made it uncomfortable for him at the back of the field. Don't just sit back and admire the kick. You've got to get up, get in the eye line, try and do something, and I'll be disciplined here. Last thing they can do is give a penalty away.
Yeah. Dagnall getting his first St Helens start. Just had a carry, followed by cross. And here now, the ball working its way forward. Salford defensively doing okay here. Ball now with Walmsley again. Bumps and spins, last one. 35 from the Saints line. Now Briley's trying to get pressure on Whitby, so he'll pass it. They've got numbers here. Danger here. They rushed out. Here now is Robertson. Thumps it downfield. He might need a bounce here. Oh, that's a beautiful catch from Connell. That's come over his shoulder. He's running towards his own line. He's caught it over his shoulder. Brilliant stuff from Connell.
Yeah, really difficult. Thought he was outstanding when they played against Wigan a couple of weeks ago. Salford's player of the month for May. The young man, just 22 years of age, had to deal with a lot then.
He did. Slow play of the ball. There they go. There it is. Look at that. That is as tough as they come when you're at the back, and he never took his eyes off it. Shot goes in there. Good carry, though, from Salford. They're up to the 20. Morgan in at dummy half. Oh, he's gone for the 40-20. Would have had the distance but not the direction, and Sailor, who got 4 tries against Salford on his St Helens debut, just almost has a pause. Well, I'm not sure Owen Dagnall would have been too happy with that one, although he's trying to get to an edge here, showing his pace, and just cuts back inside. Nice run in the end, but Sailor set him up for one there, didn't he?
He certainly did. Do you know, I didn't mind that from Kai Morgan as well. He spotted some space behind. A real defensive kick that. Maybe not finding the sideline, but just looking for distance.
Ball's come free here.
There you go. There you go, Matt. Get the ball as far away from your try line, get it up the other end of the field, and through strong defence try and force an error like they've tried to do then. So Kai Morgan gets out of dummy half. He spots that there's distance between the winger and the left winger and the fullback, and you could see that he's looking to offload the ball, and it just comes loose. Kai Morgan, the man who kicked the ball, is the man who forces the error.
Salford starting to work their way back into the contest here. Quarter of the game gone. They've stopped the flow of points. Fellow has had that hand injury. I think he was just feeling that hand as well as he came away from that challenge.
Don't leave early, Tristan. Keep it in there, mate. Go head down. Stay in.
Riley will feed the scrum. Here he goes now. They've created an overlap here, but good tackle fell. Chopped in off the wing. Makes his tackle on Hankinson.
6 again.
Set restart. So another set of 6 here. Hill will lay the platform down. Points have been hard to come by for Salford this season. And they get some early in the piece here. Conceded early on 3 tries. Shorrock steps off the right foot. He's wrapped up.
Move. Yeah. Hold.
Morgan waits, looks to his left, finds Eason Masters. Masters finds Briley. Briley into the line, but nowhere to go. Has to take the tackle.
They just can't quite create that overlap, can they?
Masters to Hill. 2 former Huddersfield players linking up there.
Alex movement. Here, Daryl, don't go early.
No tackles left in the set then for Salford. Shorrocks short to Ormonroyd. Ormonroyd almost through the line. Last one here. They want a better kick than the last set. Morgan's at dummy half. Briley will be his go-to man. Briley pauses, floats the kick towards Vaughan. Vaughan may be allowed to back this back in. He is. Ball's on the ground. It's play on. Vaughan collects it, but he's got nowhere to go. He gets it away to Morgan. Morgan then runs it to Knowles. Was that high? I think it was. They're going to come back for the penalty. So Salford starting to get 1 or 2 decisions going their way on the back of a little bit of off-the-cuff stuff.
Do you know, they're earning some penalties, aren't they? Because they're asking some questions. And Saints are coming up with a bit of panic, a bit of frantic play, really, from Salford. Good kick over the corner. Kai Morgan again. He's been full of action the last few minutes, hasn't he? He manages to get that penalty. But again, it's just valuable field position that Salford need if they've got any chance of crossing the white line. And Kurt Haggerty and Paul Rowe will be pretty impressed with what he's seen. The opening 10 minutes, look, they gifted a couple of silly tries, really, to Saints. But since that, they've really made a fist of it.
Yeah, Sangare on for Chris Hill, who gets a breather. Alex Walmsley's gone off as well for St Helens.
That's fine. Hold. Go. Medigo 10.
Here comes Salford now, looking to work it to their right. Briley out the back to Masters. Always a dangerous runner. Can he find an offload? Not on this occasion, he can't.
1 foot.
Salford inside the 10. Swing it back in field. Little mazy sidestep there from Matty Foster. He's wrapped up. They're inching the way closer here, Salford. Briley. Dummies and well met. Centre of the field by Darryl Clark.
Stay here, boys. Go.
Now Morgan finds Shorrocks. Goes out the back. Picked up by Whitby. That's a great pickup. And Salford cannot come up with points.
Yeah, he was caught in 2 minds then, Joe Shorrocks, wasn't he? Whether to run the ball, pass the ball, there was no one there when he tried to tip the ball on.
It was a beautiful pickup from Whitby. Yeah, he almost had too many options, didn't he? Saints will be happy. Paul Wellens will be happy that his defence stays intact. Sailor pops it up. Nice carry forward up to the 30.
He's 10. Go. Jacko 10.
Lomax finds Cross. He's wrapped up far side of the field. Last one. Or go to Lomax, who gets it away high. Connell waits, catches this one, and brings it forward.
Keep it quick in the right
in a wall of red and white, and he'll get up to about 25 off his own line in his tackle.
And that's what he was trying to do. Then he was trying to get to the edge then and set young Sam Hill free. Just see him on the ball now. Good, nice, quick play of the ball. And Matty Foster just taking and benefiting from that.
Masters jumps in at dummy half. Well, the flow of points has stopped. 3 tries in the opening 12 minutes, but nothing since then, and that's a testament to Salford, who are having a little bit more of the ball now.
Well, you've got to put that down to discipline, because when they were conceding the points, it was off the back of giving Saints some really daft penalties. Nice ball.
Here they are. They're going away now. Oh, they're not so far. It's an obstruction. There was a little bit of confusion, wasn't there?
Yeah.
But Salford, in fairness, played on, and Saints a little bit fortuitously get the penalty.
Well, former Saints junior Matty Foster it was who goes through the gap, and the ref just straight onto it. He was just saying that there was some obstruction then.
I think it was Warren, wasn't it, who went through the line.
It was Dion Cross that's saying it was impeded from getting to Matty Foster.
Great touch finder though for Saints. There is the Leeds loanee. There's Owen Dagnall on his first ever Super League start. Proud day for him and his family, I'm sure. We saw him off the bench a few weeks ago. Now he gets to start as Curtis Sirenen is hobbling off the field. This is a problem. Joe Batchelor will come back on. He's missed the last 5, but Sirenen is in a bit of trouble there as he leaves the field. Here's Clark, finds Saylor. Saylor 5 away, stands, oh, he wants to offload it, he did offload it, went backwards, good footwork from Clark, might lead to something here. Here's a chance for Robertson, out wide to Felt, he's in again. Well, it was off the cuff, a scruffy offload from Tristan Saylor, but the footwork of Darryl Clark kept it alive, and Kyle Felt is back with a bang, a Saints double for him, and Saints lead by 20 points to 0.
You know, when things go for you, they go for you. Like you said, they got on the back of a loose offload from Tristan Saylor, and it was managed to be picked up, and the coaching staff, Paul Wellens, Lee Braze, Eamon O'Carroll, I said earlier on, the opening 10 minutes, they were really happy. Salford got themselves back into the game. You could just see that, again, there was too much space out wide on the edge. I think Johnny Vaughan, the number 45, you could see him hesitating. He's caught in 2 minds. Sometimes you've got to have a bit more faith on the defenders inside you, that they're going to come across and help you. Because when it's a 2-on-1, yeah, you're caught in 2 minds. What do you do? Who do you take? But sometimes communication's key when you're defending, and it was left wide open, out wide for Kyle Felt.
Some more running repairs for St Helens there. And see Curtis Sirenen is sat down on the edge of the pitch. 50-50 this one for Whitby. Missed one from this spot earlier. Pulled it to the left. Whitby then to add another 2. Salford fans are giving him plenty here. Here he comes. Sends it on the way. Well, that 1-2 just fades the wrong side of the post. He's 2 from 4, Saints' 4th try, and it's the 2nd for Kyle Felt.
Like I said, they've conceded 4 tries there, Mark. And Tristan Saylor, when he steps back, well, he's quick. You thought with 4 defenders, they'd tie the full-back up. Unfortunately, couldn't. It was sloppy play, picked up, and all of a sudden it was a nice ball, wasn't it, from, I think it was Harry Robertson that gives the ball out wide. Well, Tristan Saylor, look, 4 players around him, should never have got that ball away. Come up with a bit of luck to get the ball out wide. Robertson gets it, nice little tip on.
Yeah, lovely finish. Back underway. Here's Delaney into the action for Saints.
He just has no respect for his body, does he, that young man?
No, he doesn't. Let's have a look then at the tail of the tape then in the opening 27 minutes so far, and look at that, 12 out of 13 completed sets for Saints. So many more meters made. And now more Salford ill-discipline.
And again, it's just getting a bit ragged.
Get him down, Ryan. You're right across the head there, Ryan.
For them now. More penalties, high shot. They're clutching at straws. They're trying to do as much as they can just to get the bodies in front, be physical, hit them with everything they can. Unfortunately, Ryan Briley just a bit too high then for the referee, James Vella.
Yeah, here's Whitley. Lays down the platform with the first carry. Our Saints about to go back-to-back. They had to wait a period without scoring. In fact, to be fair, they had to wait a period to get out of their own half. Here's Lees inside the Salford 30. Shorrocks has got up really groggily out of that one. Here now is Whitby out the back to Saylor. Saylor round the man, gets it to Robertson, realises the touchline's coming and opts to take the tackle. Still plenty in the bank for Saints here. Felt will play it again. Gets it away to Whitby. Whitby gets it away to Knowles. They've got bodies. If they'd have gone through hands there, Salford were busted, weren't they, on that far side? But they make the tackle centre field here, Salford, who are hanging on at the moment. Here goes Lee. Sangare with a tackle. Less one. Clark waits at dummy half. All the key players are coming now to the right. Little grubber kick is collected by Morgan, and he'll scamper away with it, put down by Saylor. Well done, Salford.
Yeah, well done, Kai Morgan. Again, he's come up with another big play there, hasn't he, by getting hold of that ball. That loose ball, bouncing ball, he just manages to get hold of it. Like I said, Joe Shorrock's just feeling some after effects. He leaves the field. Now, look at the reaction from Kai Morgan. Nice play from that young man.
He's a competitor, isn't he?
Yeah, I like him.
Interesting seeing him in a different environment, wouldn't it?
Look, he's tough. He's a former Leeds junior. Seen him come through the ranks as a 7, but now playing a bit at 9. But one thing he is, Kai Morgan, he's a tough little thing.
On the right, halt.
Yeah, here's Briley out the back now for Connell. Connell runs forward. He's tackled. Last one over on the far side. In goes Hill. It's the last one. I don't think he realised there were a little bit of miscommunication there, and they're going to turn it over 40 out from the line.
Yeah, young Sam Hill then didn't realise that the referee had his hand up, and maybe that's because some of the players around that ruck early hadn't really controlled it, telling him what was on. He just took it into his own hands to run the ball from dummy half.
Moses and Bai sprints onto the field, and he'll be in to play the ball as Darryl Clark gets a breather. Good shot there from right.
Yeah, he had him in his targets then, didn't he? Stopped him dead in his tracks.
He did. Half an hour gone. 20 points to 0. Knowles finds Lomax, finds Cross. Should have given it. He had the man outside him in Dagnall, but opted to take it, and he's wrapped up by Sam Hill. Knowles now short for Delaney again, right in the middle of the field. He's putting himself about a bit. He's moved into the middles now, hasn't he?
Good effort, boys.
Bai finds Lomax, finds Saylor. Good hands. This time they do get it away to Dagnall. Kicks. Did he kick too soon there? Well, maybe not. He's got Connell in the corner, and he'll tackle him a metre off the line.
Turns out to be a decent kick, doesn't it? Look at that, where they trapped now. Well, Saints really trying to apply some pressure here with some strong defence. But like you said about Shane Wright, come up with a couple of belters defensively, Shane Wright.
Salford are doing it tough here. They're lining up as though they're going to play here. Masters will find Briley. They're risking it here. Will they get the rewards? Vaughan had to wait for the pass, and in the end, the bravery didn't quite bring the rewards as Saints slid across the field and make the tackle. Look at this. They've gone 10 metres in 4 tackles here. This is a great defensive effort from St Helens.
Yeah, well, as soon as they trap you in the corner, that's when you know you're in a bit of trouble. And the line speed that they've got here now, trying to put pressure on Ryan Briley, just manages to get over the halfway. And I'm sure on this kick return here now, they get back into Salford's half.
They will just, and then they push back from where they came. So Saints start on halfway. Here's Robertson. Great to see him back and fit again. He was lighting up the Super League earlier in the campaign.
Wait.
Ball now finds Lomax. He gets it away. Batchelor carries. Need to go to the break. Paul Whelan's side are in control here. There he is, looking on with Lee Breers and Eamon O'Carroll. The Saints make a break up the middle. Here's Knowles again, offers the dummy. Inside the 30 they go. Last one for Saints. They're going to go to Whitby now. They're coming out towards Saylor and Felt. Vaughan underneath it. Oh, gets up it well. Thought he'd overjumped it there.
Yeah, great. I'm with you. I thought for 1 minute that he's gone too far, gone past that ball, but did well to get hold of it. Well, again, like Saints, we just like to trap you in that corner. And again, there's going to be some lonely carries here.
Yeah. Oh, Masters is looking to get to an edge. He gets it away to Hill. Hill gets away. He's got support. He's inside here. Could be a try here. They've got the pace. Connell's racing away. Saylor's got him. Saylor needs to make the tackle and does. Best we've seen from Salford from their own try line. And can they turn it into points? They go here now to Warren. He's tackled 10 out. Saints line was busted, but they're all back now. Can Salford break them down? Masters finds Brian. Oh, he went to kick it and he dropped it. Oh, such a disappointment. We mentioned they were going to be brave. Masters pass, and fair play to young Sam Hill. He went streaking down the touchline.
Yeah, well, he showed when he played against Wigan how quick he is. Had a try chalked off in that game. Well, they get him on the edge, and it was really good play from Brian Bradley. Makes the mistake when they made that break. On the back of that break that we see here, you can see they'll play from absolutely anywhere. Good play from Masters. Gives the ball to Hill, and I thought he'd done a tremendous job to get around Owen Dagnall, looking for his teammate in Connell, and then it was just a foot race, and Tristan Saylor, one of the quickest in the competition, stops it. From that play the ball, they go to the right-hand side. The only player on the right-hand side was Toby Warren. They needed to come back to the left-hand side where they were flooding forward Salford.
Yeah, a little bit of a miscommunication at a key time. But having been 16-0 down in 12 minutes, I think Salford would have taken this.
Yeah, absolutely. The fight back's been there. And look, whenever you watch Salford, you know that they've got some fight in them. They like being that underdog.
They do. State of Origin 2, Queensland, New South Wales, 10 o'clock Sky Sports action on Wednesday. Then we're down at the Jungle, Casford Hull KR. Sky Sports action Thursday night, 7:30. Saints Leeds, that should be a cracker. On Friday night, Sky Sports Plus. Wakefield Wigan is also on Sky Sports Plus at 7:55. And on Saturday, Warrington take on Huddersfield. And Catalans take on Lee. All that to come. And Sunday, Salford against Hull, 2:55. Kick downfield from Saints. Connell will let it bounce. Needs a bounce. Picked up in the end by Hill. That could have gone wrong, couldn't it?
Seeing there's a difference as well, Mike. Now look at where they were catching the ball. Probably 5-10 minutes ago, it was down near the line. Now, because of some good, strong defence, Shane Wright again in that previous set. A really good bell ringer of a tackle.
Look tired, Salford. Only 17 players available today. More will be made of that, I'm sure, over the next few days by Paul Rowley and Salford. Here forward, carrying the ball is Harvey Wilson. He's wrapped up just short of halfway. Morgan, Masters, ball back on the inside. Good hands, but good defence as well. Good play of the ball. They're going short side. Masters comes back in field. He needs to find a pass. He'll float it across to Hankinson. Dummies to kick. Takes it in, gets it to right. Finds Vaughan. Vaughan fly hacks it forward. It comes awkwardly there, and Saylor had to be brave. And in fairness, he tidied that up pretty smartly in the end.
Yeah. He had to be good at the back, didn't he, to get hold of that ball. But again, Salford looking to throw the ball around. And well, what I will do, and I will say, I'll give big raps to every one of these players. Like you said, just 17 players available today for the coaching staff. Well, apart from that real slow start that they made, they've done a decent job to bring it back.
They have. Here's Delaney, full tilt carry. By-in at dummy half, finds Saylor. Saylor looking to probe the centre of the field, works his way forward. That's the last one. So we'll need a good kick here, Saints, who haven't had it all their own way. Here now is Whitby, arrows the kick straight down the middle of the field. It'll find the grass. Connell gets the ball 10 off his own line, gives it to Vaughan, who looks up. Morgan Knowles went hunting for him.
Oh, good job he had a bit of footwork then to beat Morgan Knowles.
I could think of better people to run into on a Sunday afternoon at Salford.
You could.
Amble. They're 20 off their own line. Can they see it through to half-time? So I think Paul Rowley would have taken this after that opening 15 minutes, disastrous 15 minutes. But they've really shown up well since then.
Do you know, they'll never match Saints play for play or drive for drive. What they will Oh, they've got more of a chance for us if they start moving the ball. They've had more success of getting Saints on the edge or just getting Saints away from the ruck area by shifting the ball.
Works its way back to Masters. He's going to have to kick downfield. Dagnall drops back, should catch it on the full. Does. Looks. He is ambling forward. Then he puts the foot down and Wright makes the tackle. He's been getting through some work, Shane Wright.
I think he's been probably Salford's best defender, physically anyway.
Yeah, he has. He's really put himself about a bit, hasn't he? Here's Saylor with a bit of dancing footwork, but he's going backwards rather than forwards. Gets it to Robertson. Oh, he slips his man. Gets it away now. And here down the sideline is Whitley. Cuts back in. He's got support. He might not need it. He's still going. And didn't pass it in the end. He had Whitney with him, and By jumps in at dummy half. Ford's got to be careful here. He's got to get out of the ruck area, and he did just in the nick of time. They're racing out here. Whitney saw Masters sprinting out, so opts to keep it himself. Just before the break here would be a hammer blow if Saints could land another 4-pointer from this position. Here now is Saylor. Saylor rolls the kick in behind. He rolls it in behind. Connell did well.
Well taken.
Not sure that was the right option on tackle 4, though,
yeah,
Terry.
I'm not so sure I would have been kicking the ball then. They had them where they want them. I thought Nathan Connell did an amazing job to get hold of this ball. You just look at him where he takes that. It's a nice kick from Saylor. Look at that. He had to be nice and composed. He cops one, didn't he?
Well, Vaughan's down. He's got an ankle problem, I think, and Connell's down. It'll be double trouble for Salford.
It will be when you look at Salford's bench. They've got no outside backs on the bench. They're all forwards.
Yeah, they're doing it tough now. It's going to be a play of the ball, but question that from Saylor. You're in the last minute of the half. You're down on their 20. Just keep asking the questions.
Yeah.
You've got to kick the ball away.
HIA or it's a green card? Let me know. It'll be a green card. Are you certain? Okay.
Referee is having a word with a...
Nathan, it's going to be a green card, mate.
Well, Nathan Connell is going to have to leave the field here because he's in possession of the ball and he's had medical treatment.
Yeah,
so
he
he's got
stayed
to go
down.
for 2.
Yeah, he stayed down. The medical staff come on to just assess him and see if there was any damage to him. So he's got to spend 2 minutes off the pitch now.
Maybe just got a knee in the back, didn't he? An accidental one there from Felt. Here's Sangare. Salford looking to see out the half.
Oh, there's a bit of a tug on his arm, then Sangare's arm.
It's a loose pass, picked up by Briley, gets it away now. Dagnall's got to make his tackle. This time he closes down Sam Hill. And with help from his teammate, they're going to get him over the sideline here, Saints, are they? Ball's dumped back in field. That'll be play on. Well done, Sam Hill. Here's Eason Masters. Taken forward there by Wilson. Good again from Salford. Off the cuff stuff. This might be, well, this will be the last tackle of the half. What are they going to do? Masters. To offload it. And here's the siren and decides that'll do us. So an early onslaught from Saints. Tries for Sirenen. Felt and Wormsley inside 12 minutes. It looked like it was going to be one-way traffic all the way, but Salford then stood up, and despite Kyle Felt getting his second of the half, Paul Whelan's side will go in at 20 points to 0 in front. Spirited effort from Salford, who are down on troops and down on all they showed in that opening 40 minutes. It's going to be tough, Terry, but they've shown in patches, Salford, there, that they can compete.
Yeah, look, if you take away the opening 12 minutes when they conceded 3 tries, the next 14 minutes they were pretty good before they conceded again. In the last 14 minutes of the first half they were good, but they're up against a real good, talented Saints side that, look, I think they'll want to put a number on Salford. I think Saints in the second half will try and play the game at their speed. But if it was a Salford player, I'd have a bit of belief in me. They know what's happened in that first half. Cut out the silly mistakes, cut out the discipline, or be more disciplined, and you give yourself a chance. I'm not saying they're going to go and win the game, but what I am saying is they can score a couple of tries.
Yeah, they had chances in that first 40. Chris Hankinson will get us underway.
Hang on, mate. Hang on, Chris.
Here
Hang on,
at the Salford Community
Chris,
Stadium
wait.
then.
Stay on.
Hankinson then will send the kick towards the Saints try line where Sailor steams onto it like a front row forward there and takes it in. He's tackled and then pushed promptly back, reminded that he is just a back after all.
Yeah, I don't think that was in the brochure when he read it when he was coming over to Super League. Carry off the back line and run into a load of forwards and kick off.
Oh, Saints
there you go.
get a penalty.
That would have been talked about. Do you know, in the changing rooms at half-time, you get your direction from your coaches, what you want at the start of the second half. Oh, they haven't found the touch.
Oh, they haven't. What a save from Vaughan. Well, that was greedy, wasn't it, from St Helens? So a reprieve for Salford.
Well, you're right. They've gone for distance and he just didn't get it. Johnny Vaughan manages to tap the ball back in. He saw that it wasn't going to get the height going over that sideline. Did well to get over it.
Great work from Vaughan, the former. Oh, well, he's still a Saints player officially, but he won't be for much longer.
No, it's not.
But again, Mark, don't give a penalty away. Don't put yourself under pressure to get away with it then, because the kick wasn't quite good enough from Saints.
Yeah, well, Salford are looking for a penalty of their own. They're not going to get one. Here's Sangare over
That's
halfway.
a nice carry.
Nathan Connell back into the action, so it is 13 against 13. He was green carded right at the end of the first half. Set restart for Salford. So things... Well, we've been talking about this from a Salford perspective. Paul Williams won't be overly happy, will he, at the moment?
No, it won't. He'd be really disappointed, really. Like I said, it was the start that really got him the result on the scoreboard. The way they come out with at the start of the game, and they just blew Salford away.
Got to earn the right to play, and at the moment they're not doing that. Salford are looking to play themselves. Not the best pass to call. That was knocked on, I think, by Warren. And that's frustrating. Once or twice they've got in good ball and they haven't quite executed the pass correctly.
Yeah, you're right. They'll be disappointed. You know, you make the players, you've got to make sure you execute the players as well. You want to get the defenders interested, go deep into the line before passing the ball. And you could just see that the fullback Nathan Connell, he didn't know whether to get the ball himself. The ball went on the floor, and the big figure of Toby Warren just couldn't quite bend down to pick it up cleanly. And Toby Warren, doing a job in the centre for Salford today, made his name as a back row, played in the front row as well. He's a big, powerful forward.
He's here as part of the move that saw Callum Watkins go back to Leeds. He's here on loan, of course. Watkins who made his 400th career appearance yesterday as well in that big win for Leeds. As Sailors wrapped up. What will Paul Wellens have said to his team, then, do you think, at half-time?
Look, make sure that we go on, show that this side plenty of respect, because they've seen, or you've seen that in the game, that they will challenge you, and with the likes of Ryan Brierley and Easton Masters pulling the strings, they have got points in them, and it's all about how Saints will prepare for this game, and they'll talk and focus about how they perform for the 80 minutes.
Yeah.
Go.
Here's Mbai, gets it away to Whitby, turns it back here for Lees. Sangare saw him come in, and he's lost it. Lee's lost it on the ground. So the shot from Sangare, look, St Helens have come out opening 3 minutes second half. They've missed touch, they've given away a 6 again, and now they've dropped the ball early in the tackle count.
And that is what will disappoint the coaching staff. Until Justin Sangare putting a real big, decent shot. Talked about Shane Wright coming up with some decent shots, but you could just see the force of Sangare. Forces that ball free.
Rose be out for at least a couple of months for Saints. That's a big loss for them. Here's Masters.
3. George, move!
40 out from the line. Morgan in at dummy half. Gets it away to Warman. Big step, Omeroyd almost through the middle, but Lees was sweeping up and makes the tackle.
Where's that come from?
That sidestep. Here's Wright. Wright powers his way inside the 20. Last one for Salford. Are they going to open up their account here? Briley's going to put the kick in. He arrows it towards the post. Oh, beautifully picked up by Dagnall. He's going to have to work hard to get back in the field of play, and he does get back in the field of play.
Yeah, he does well, doesn't he? Just to get back in the field of play, getting around Sangare. And again, Salford, a good period here for them now.
Stoppage in play here.
There's a problem with Kai Morgan.
Kai Morgan, he's in the way here. On 2. Tackle 2, Kyle. Just let the ball there, mate.
Kai Morgan just feeling the effects then of that collision. He's been really strong in this game.
We just heard from the sideline that Paul Wellens was happy with his start, but once he started to fix up mistakes that crept in with and without the ball, well, Paul Rowley impressed on his side to get and keep possession and keep the belief that they gained as the half went through, and have a little bit of patience when you get the ball.
Well, that's more or less what we said and what we expected to hear from the sideline. You know, the start of the game wasn't good enough for Paul Rowley, but it was very good for Paul Wellens. And then Paul Rowley and Kurt Haggerty really impressed with the way that they finished the last 28 minutes of that first half. And Kai Morgan's been really influential in that game. He's going to leave the field there for the HIA, which will be a big loss for them.
Will. He's leaving the field.
You've been a bit jumpy on that 10.
Looks like he's got a stray elbow, I think. Let's have a look here. Oh, yeah, Shane Wright. He's got his own man.
Well, he's physical with Saints players. He's also physical with his own players. I'm not so sure that was on the tip sheet from Paul Rowley.
Oh, Morgan makes his way off. They'll be desperately hoping he can pass that head injury assessment. There's not a lot of him, but he's got the heart of a lion, that young fella. And I think we'll be seeing plenty more of him in the Super League over the next few years. 15 minutes to pass his head injury assessment. Here goes Delaney. Salford will be looking to put the squeeze on here. Whitley carries, he's wrapped up. Gets, got up and had another go. Could have got a little bit messy, that tackle there, but Dean Fair. Knowles was closed down. Shorrock's back into the action then, so that injury that forced him off earlier on, not too bad. Last one here for Saints. Oh, I don't think they realise it. Oh, they do. They're going to run it. Oh, the knock on. Well, that, I can't work out. Is that really lucky for St Helens? Because I don't think they realised it was the last tackle, and they went for it, and in the end, Salford knock on gives them another set.
Well, I'd say the outcome's lucky for Saints. Chris Hankinson, he just manages to stick his arm out, you know, to get hold of that ball. The temptation was just too much, wasn't he? You could see a couple of players on the outside of him. He makes that decision.
I felt you were moving forward, that's why.
He could have just controlled the tip, if you like, put it in the air a little bit more. He might have had the chance to get it, and he would have scored from there, but wasn't quite to be for Salford.
That was a good defensive set, though, wasn't it, for Salford? Really got off the line, got the in front.
It's almost like Saints start
as mirrored what Salford was like in the first half, actually.
Yeah, pretty similar.
Do you know, mistakes, penalties, not getting to the end of the sets and not finishing off well. Obviously, they haven't scored the points, Salford.
Just wonder if they got a little bit complacent, St Helens, after that start. Here's a good run from Delaney, who's slammed into the turf.
Well, it was a good little tackle, wasn't it, from Harvey Wilson?
Here's Whitby now, placed to Saylor. Robertson tried to crawl out of a tackle, but he's wrapped up. Couple left in the set. Here now is Knowles, short pass to Lees. Lees just carries forward. Saints last one for them. Vaughan drops back. Which way are they going? They're coming now here with Knowles. Knowles finds Lomax. Lomax out wide. Here's Dion Cross. Cross is going to... Oh, he's going to get a touch. Gave Dagnall nowhere to go. And again, it's another loose end to the set from St Helens.
It's a poor end. I agree with you. It's a poor end to the set. You're down near Salford's line, and you just can't quite execute. You can't pull off the play. You're running out of space, like Dion Cross was trying to just usher young Owen Dagnall back into the field, and they did a decent job through Toby Warren. Then just to get him off the field. And the young man Owen Dagnall, just his third Saints appearance. And he's got to realise when the centre's taking his space, he's got to cut back inside from the sideline. Well, you learn as you go, don't you?
Yeah. Steep learning curve, isn't it? Here's Hill back into the action for Salford. He's wrapped up 20 off his own line. Ball now into the hands of Issa Masters.
Johnny, move! Hold!
Not the only Super League game underway here at the Salford Community Stadium. Elsewhere, over in Wakefield, Wakefield Trinity are behind against Lee. Late stages there. That was an early kickoff there, 2:30 start. Lee in front by 2. You can watch it on Sky Sports Plus. Salford have lost it. Well, it's been a really scrappy start to the second half from both sides at the moment. This game just needs somebody to grab it by the scruff of the neck.
Yeah, just roll up the sleeves and do the hard stuff and get through the game. Need some masters here. Just plenty of tension around him. He just loses the ball. He just hits the knee of a Saints player. A loose carry from him as he's trying to get up and play it. Need some masters. You know, he's an impressive player, as he's got the ability to beat players. The tackle bust that he can generate, and the quick play the balls that he can generate for others around him.
Well, there's a lot of excitement when he signed. He has played, in fairness, 15 of the 16 games that Salford have had. Oh, Lomax drops it. Cold on tackle 1.
Well, there's a penalty for being offside.
Wow, that is fortunate. That is very fortunate.
There's a couple of things that have gone in favour of Saints, but you never really see, like I said, Johnny Lomas, one of the most experienced, decorated players out on the field today, make a mistake like that.
Repacking it, boys.
After the start they made, are they going to come back and have another scrum here, are they?
Who'd be a coach, yeah? All right, they've opted for the scrum centre field to pull all the players in, just to give them some attacking options and give them some speed for the likes of Tristan Saylor.
Guys, don't give away the penalty here, or else there's a sin bin. Stay in the scrum and do not leave early.
Well, the Saints fans are behind the posts away to the left. They'll be wanting to see a little bit more action down their end of the field. Here they go again. This time Lomax does take it in. Here's Saylor. Saylor goes through. Got support. Gets it away to Felt. Felt in the touch.
Well, they did well to recover, didn't they? They did ever so well to recover. But again, it's good defence, but it's poor attack from Saints. Now, Tristan Saylor, when he goes through here, he's got the speed. He gives the ball. Do you know, if Tristan Saylor looks at that again, he just puts the afterburners on and goes for it himself.
Yeah.
It was like the flick ball, the flick out of the back to Carl Fell, who had the Salford's probably biggest friend would have been the touchline.
Vaughan, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
To get him over the sideline,
but Vaughan had that other defender, which is the touchline, helping him along. And like I said, Tristan Saylor, look at that again, and you just took the ball under the wing and go for it.
Yeah, I would indeed. Alex Walmsley about to come on with Noah Stevens into the action, as Paul Wellens want a little bit more second half from his side. Shorrocks gets it away to Bryan. Short pass. Taken in over on the far side. Here's Hill. Gets it away to Masters. Masters runs it in. He's tackled.
Mark is good.
Nice pass. Here they go up the middle. Here goes Salford straight through the middle. He overran Briley. The pass was on there for Harvey Wilson. They'll get it out wide. That's gone forward. Oh, Salford have just bombed a massive opportunity.
Oh, Harvey Wilson did everything right then, didn't he? The push up, the support with Chris Hill. And then, unfortunately, the pass he delivered was forward. But what he had to do then was just veer off to the right-hand side. Take the fullback, Tristan Saylor, through with him. Look at him, his speed. Every time I see him play, I'm always impressed with him. Instead of stepping off his right foot, he needed to step off his left. Take Tristan Saylor away from Ryan Briley and then tick the ball onto him. Whether or not he would have got to the try line, because there was, I think it was Carl Fell who was tracking back. Maybe he might have got hold of Briley. But again, it's a nice little play, nice little build-up. Good work from Chris Hill to that young man, Harvey Wilson. Unfortunately, no points.
Yeah, blown opportunity.
Hold. Go.
Ball here with Whitley.
Hold. Trapped him in.
Well, 13 gone second half, no points yet. Here's Walmsley back into the action. The big man who got a try in the first half.
Hold. Wait. Go.
And by finds Whitby. Whitby almost through. Good tackle. Needed to be as well. Tiaki Chan celebrating his birthday today.
Tiaki, give your hands to yourself.
Here's Lomax, finds Noah Stevens. Stevens straight through the middle. Fullback to beat. Big man against little man. Vaughan gets a bit of his former colleague, and Stevens is tackled 5 away. He almost got through the big lad. Last tackle, they're going short side here. Sailor's kick, picked up.
That's a great
Well, if
pick
this
up.
is a kick, that's a try, but did Sailor get the foot on the ball before it hit the ground? Robertson is over. Referee, I think, might hand this upstairs. He said on field a try. It's all about the kick and the catch.
Okay, we have a video referee decision with a live call of try. We're checking onside, offside. Pause the ball on the foot. Okay, Roberts is onside at this point, so we're going to go in a bit closer. Just make sure that, yeah, it's kicked. Trying to confirm that it is kicked by Sailor. Yeah, it is. So at that point the ball is on the foot and he's onside. So we're going to go through to the catch. Takes the ball clean. And then grounds the ball. I've viewed the angles I need. I've made my decision.
Well, it was all neat and tidy, and it is Harry Robertson who is over in the corner. Finally some points second half. Sailor's decision to kick, this time the right one, and Robertson will score over on that far side, and Saints finally extend their lead, 24 points to nil.
Well, it's took 13 minutes to score points in the second half. What a pick up from that young man. Harry Robertson scored 2 tries in around 1 game against Salford, and it was nice work, wasn't it? Noah Stevens, what a run from the young man. Just his 4th appearance of the year, manages to still make a couple of metres after everyone thought he'd been tackled, and gets a nice quick play of the ball. Vaughan tries to put pressure and shoots out the line. Couldn't quite stop the play from Tristan Sailor, who gets a nice delicate kick, doesn't he, away. He didn't panic at all, Tristan Sailor. Come up with that play then. The pressure from Vaughan, still kept his composure to do the job, and a nice pick up from Robertson.
Yeah, Carl Felt on kicking duties here. He looks to add the extras from out wide, sends it towards the post, and he's slotted it. George Whitby has gone off for a head injury assessment, and Felt takes over and slots the goal. 26 points to nil.
Well, not a bad kick from Felt, but also not bad work in the build-up to Robertson getting over for that line. But what about the run from Stevens? Brilliant. The young prop forward manages to make 30, 40 valuable metres before Tristan Sailor gets hold of the ball, drops it onto the boot, and the little pirouette from Robertson to get over the line. Nice play, much needed points from Saints, and maybe it might calm the nerves for them, because they've been a bit rattled in this second half.
Yeah, they have, and that's testament to Salford. Here's Mbai, and here's Stevens again. His eyes would have lit up when he saw the fullback in front of him, but credit to the scramble they got back and brought down the young forward. Here's Wormsley, carries up to the 20. 4 in at the tackle. Salford gutsy going in towards the final quarter of this match. Here's Delaney, big shot.
Holy moly, Joe Shorrocks, what about that?
Here now is Lomax, out the back to Sailor. Sailor trying to ghost his way through. He's racked up 30 out from the Saints line. Couple left in the set. Here now is Lomax. All with Wormsley again. That'll be the last one. Kick downfield from Mbai. Was looking for a possible 40-20. Doesn't get the bounce. We've seen that Joe Batchelor is picked side. He came on as a substitute. We believe he's picked up a calf injury, so back from injury, and he's potentially injured again, Terry. That's him done for the day.
Yeah, well, they'd be disappointing as well, because they lost Curtis Sirren early on in the game, didn't he? He went off injured. We've not seen him since.
Well, he's got his track. I can see him down there. He's got his tracksuit on, Sirren, so he's not coming back either. So the two back rowers off. Saints looking. Oh, that's a penalty given away. Just as they had Salford penned in their own 10-metre area.
Bit of a swinging arm over the top, wasn't it, from George Delaney?
Yeah.
I think that's what the penalty's for.
Well, frustration for those in the Saints coaching benching. This is not what they expected this to look like today.
There's times in the game when Saints look really good, they look really clinical. There's other times when they just look clunky. The mistakes, like not finding touch from a kick.
Yeah.
Simple little errors that they're coming up with that's just un-Saints-like, really.
Warren was hit hard there. Here's Eason Masters. They made a couple of breaks, Salford, but not being able to put points on the board. Have they got more breaks in them?
Let's go! Good response there, Noah.
Now they're moving it. Briley's dropped it. Went backwards. Did it? No, it didn't. And another enforced error. No.
Yeah, the referee James Vella got the call from the touchline that it was a knock-on.
Well, we're going to challenge this, I think. Briley, he felt it went backwards. So Chris Kendall will have a look at this one.
Okay, we have a captain's challenge. Salford are challenging the decision of a knock-on. Okay, so the ball touches Ryan Brealey's arm at this point. Okay, where does it go, Pap, in relation to the ground? It goes forwards. I viewed the angle I need. It's challenge unsuccessful.
Challenge unsuccessful, boys. Went forward.
Well, when you see it on the replay, it looks pretty clear, doesn't it? But I think you're always going to struggle to get those overturned, but that was as clear as they come. So that's the challenge done for Salford. And now an opportunity here for Saints inside the 30.
Keep working those ruts, boys.
Well, sometimes as well, Mark, that teams and captains will use them captain challenges when they think they need a bit of a breather as well. Ryan Briley just pretty confident that he thought the ball went backwards, but still, look, since they've made that mistake, that error, they've had another couple of minutes now here to get some oxygen in the lungs and just try and come up with another defensive set of 6.
Here they go now with Lomax. Out the back to Saylor. Gets it away to Dagnall. Wanted to pin his ears back and go for the line, but he's just got to take the tackle. He was looking for a first Saints try. 8 away. Saylor finds Walmsley. Kai Morgan has passed his head injury assessment. Good news for Salford. He'll be back on shortly. Here now is Darrell Clark. Here's Delaney. Saints going route 1 here, trying to pound their way through. Salford are hanging on. Are the floodgates about to open? Walmsley fancied a second.
Good chop. Josh Oryx chopped his legs from underneath him.
He did. Walmsley's got to go back and play the ball here. They're right on the line. Here now is Lomax. Gets it away. Ball over the top. Felt's in for the hat-trick. Oh, flying. Acrobatic finish, a pose for the cameras. Felt back and back in style. His third of the afternoon, and Saints have 30.
Well, that's it. Coming into this game, he scored 3 tries in the opening 3 games, scored 3 tries this afternoon. And when they bought him from North Queensland, they knew what they were buying. They were buying a finisher. Someone who could get to the try line, score with a bit of finesse, and he certainly does that. Again, just clutching at straws. Some of those Salford defenders, too much space out wide, and not working from the inside. You could see Ryan Briley got up really, really quick and probably spooked some of his own defenders out wide. There's the salute, there's the finish from the experienced winger.
Yeah. Welcome addition. Well, he's just nailed one from the sideline. He's going to get another chance now.
Keep working with Salford here. Yeah. Thank you.
33% the success probability here for Felt. This then for a 32-point lead. Error from Briley punished.
He's taking his time with this. He takes the ball back. 25.
Yeah.
25 metres.
I think the last one pretty well. Kenny had the extras here. 3 out of 5 as a team with a boot. Strikes this one towards the post. Oh, he's hit the post.
Wow.
Couldn't have been any closer.
Oh, just that lick of paint. Just misses, but he gave it a third old crack, didn't he? Kyle felt. I said we've got plenty of speed, and you just look at the work Johnny Lomax, the double pump, the ball over the top. It's not the first time we've seen that today from Saints. The ball goes over the top. The outside defenders for Salford are making the decisions for the ball players in the middle to throw that ball over the top because there is space out wide.
Yeah. All about the execution. When they have, like you said, when they've got it right, they look good, but it's been a little bit clunky today. But I guess that opening start really took the sting out of Salford, didn't it? Here's Stevens. He's a youngster with a point to prove, and that's another good carry. Look at that. Fights up to the 20.
Well, they have got some good young players, haven't they? Likes of Harry Robertson, Owen Dagnall, George Whitby, George Delaney. Still, we forget how young George Delaney is. 21 years of age.
Yes,
been around for an eternity.
New deal. The club. Here's Clark. Here he is, Delaney.
So on the back of it, like Sir George Delaney and Noah Stevens, there's 2 big pillars there that can take them forward, along with Matty Lees for years to come.
Yep, here's Walmsley. Walmsley slips the tackle, but eventually he's dragged down. Shorrocks is down again in back play. I wonder if that shoulder problem is coming back to hurt him. Here's Clark out of dummy half, finds Lomax. Lomax looking for support, gets it away. Here's Darryl Clark. There's a bit of fisticuffs, but they're playing on Clark. Oh, if he looked behind him, they would have walked it in, Saints. All the Salford players are involved in a melee. Well, that's a try gone begging for St Helens, but there's some real fisticuffs happening in the middle of the field.
Yeah, it was Alex Walmsley in the middle of the field. I don't know whether he didn't like what the marker was doing, but they got up, they just exchanged like just wafts of their arms in the air. I don't think there was any punches thrown. We don't see that anymore in rugby league, really.
Well, St Helens should have scored in the midst of all that. They didn't. But what's the outcome of this? Chris Kendall will be having a look at this.
Well, they definitely started at the ruck, and Alex Walmsley was involved. I think it was with young Matty Foster, the former Saints player. Well, you can see he gets up, Alex Walmsley, then he just hits him in the face. He hits Matty Foster in the face. He slaps him. It's not a punch, it's a slap. Then Jackie Chan gets involved. Then George Delaney comes in on Jackie Chan to protect him, and like you said, Saints were still playing on. Darryl Clark.
The other way, Dunby would have walked.
Yeah, absolutely. The play was on. You see Matty Foster. I think he took exception to the flop from Matty Foster. Then there was a swinging arm from Alex Walmsley. The little backhand.
I just wonder about the role of Chan in all this.
Well, Chan comes in to protect Matty Foster, and let me tell you, Jackie Chan's one of the most physical players, aggressive players in the game.
Well, there's plenty to divulge here for Chris Kendall.
The original finish was by Salford, by Charlie. They were in the tackle, and then Walmsley reacts, and then they come running in. I can't play advantage because of the reaction by Saints, but I'm going to get an original penalty against Salford. Do you have anything else to report? Yeah. It's just pushing and shoving. Yeah. No. Captain's out here, boys. Got it. Just stay there, Chris. Yeah. Captain's out here. Okay. So what we've got, boys, is we've got pushing and shoving between the 2 players here involved, Alex and Charlie. The first one is by Charlie, so the penalty will be going to Saints. I can't play the advantage because of the reaction from your players. Okay. Now, the play's been played in fairly good spirits up until this point. We don't need this creeping into the game. If it does, I won't be afraid to sit players down. Okay, have a stern word with your fellas now. We don't go down that road. Okay, have a word. It's a penalty to Saint Saviour here for the initial push.
After all that, a penalty to St Helens. And in the end, much ado about nothing. And the players told to behave themselves.
Well, it always looks worse, doesn't it, when players come running in from everywhere. You know, no punches thrown whatsoever. The backhand from Alex Walmsley on Matty Foster, but he took exception to the flop from Matty Foster. You could just see a bit of a swing there. He thought that was the end of it, Alex Walmsley. Then there was a push from Jackie Chan. Then Foster comes in, and Walmsley and Chan comes back in again, and George Delaney comes in to look after Alex Walmsley, as if he needs looking after at 6'11".
Yeah, again, there's no big screen here, so the fans hadn't seen what happened. The home fans not happy they didn't get a penalty there. But here's Knowles. Is that the blue touch paper lit?
Yeah, definitely.
Is it now? All going to spark into life. Set restart. Well, it is kicking off now. I think someone's going to go in the bin here. I think the referee's got to get a grip of this pretty quickly. James Vella is going to have his hands full now.
There's no need for it.
That's it. You know, a couple of coming together, you said like it.
Boys, I just had a word to the captains.
There's something, you'd expected something to happen. I was looking at where Jackie Chan was lining up defensively as well. Well, the ref, well, again, he's just, Ted Crow just come in, talk to the players. He's trying to diffuse it.
Yeah, it's the volume around the stadium. Now we're hearing that George Whitby has failed his head injury assessment. Now that may not be impactful today. That will rule him out of Leeds next week, so that will have a consequence.
Yeah, that's a massive loss, isn't it?
It is. Here now is Robertson. Robertson trying to weave his way to the line. He's over. It's a double for Robertson, assuming he's grounded it. He's crashed his way through. James Vella's going to hand it upstairs, but he thinks this is a try on field.
Okay, we have a live call of try. We're checking the grounding. Robertson's in possession. Okay, camera 5's going to be no good. Let's go and see if there's any other angles. Robertson's in possession, and the ball gets to the line. We're just going to confirm that he maintains possession all the way to the ground. This one might help. I'm going to watch this at full speed. Watch it at full speed again. Okay, that's all part of the tackle, and as we saw on the previous replay, the ball does get to the line. I've viewed the angle I need. I've made my decision.
Well, that is another try for the youngster Harry Robertson. That right edge for St Helens has been prolific. 3 for Felt, and now a double for Robertson. And Saints lead by 34 points to 0.
Yeah, well, they certainly unpicked Salford's left edge, haven't they? Harry Robertson scores the try. Like we said before, two tries in round 1 against Salford, 2 tries in round 14 against Salford. All got a bit physical then for a couple of minutes, didn't it? And all started with Alex Walmsley and Matty Foster, and Jackie Chan not far away from that action as well. And Saints with a team that managed to keep the composure.
I'm just looking down the other end. The Salford fans are getting stuck into the Saints players, and Alex Walmsley just stood there clapping them. They're not happy with him. Here's Felt. Slightly easier kick this. There he is, Big Alex, and I can hear you. Or I can't hear you, I don't know. Felt strokes the ball through, and that is 36 points to 0. Did you used to interact with the fans like that, Terry?
Oh, I remember playing at Castleford once, and there's only about 2 meters from where the fans were. I got absolutely hammered every time I went there. There's a good little player, wasn't it, from Harry Robertson? You know, the confidence that some of these young players have got to take the game by the scruff of the neck and think that they can be the point of difference and come up with some points.
Are they going short? They are. Oh, they've not gone 10. They've not gone 10. Well, you can't blame them for trying Salford, but it's just not happening at the moment.
No, they had to do it, didn't they? They had to go short. Unfortunately, it doesn't come off to give a penalty away. Saints again will get this ball and get some valuable meters nearer towards Salford's line. And all that good work in the first half. And what was it, 13 minutes into the second half before the first points were scored by Saints.
Well, you just wonder if that little bit of confrontation has just sparked St Helens into life a little bit. They were a bit lacklustre, weren't they, either side of half-time?
Yeah, it's absolutely fired them up. I mean, sometimes that you need something just to light that.
Well, it has done that, and now Salford have got to deal with the consequences of those little outbursts. Here is Wormsley again. Route one as he tries to go through the middle. Charlie Glover makes the tackle. Here's Clark now. They're trying to power their way through. Salford hanging on doggedly here. Wormsley the decoy, and by. Here's numbers, here's trouble, here's a debut try, a first start and a first try for Owen Dagnall. He's in at the corner. Finally the left edge gets involved in the point scoring party. And Owen Dagnall, a moment to remember for him. A first start and a first Super League try. Saints lead by 40 points to 0.
Well, the 19-year-old's got a massive future, Owen Dagnall. I've heard his name a number of years going back to him coming through the system and playing at Holton Farmer Forness, and there's more smiles now on the sideline from the coaching staff. But Owen Dagnall, well, he'll get his first here. And it was a nice little play. Dion Cross, nice and simple, good finish from the young man. But like you said, Mark, that maybe all the little melees that started 10 minutes ago with Alex Wormsley and Matty Foster's just played into the hands of Saints, because all of a sudden they've just seemed to have stepped it up a bit, don't they? Things have started to go their way. They've took the chances, they've had all that field position since that. Now a big kick to come from Carl Felt on the opposite side, where he's nailed one from.
Yeah, 2 from 3 so far. I don't know about you, Terry. I'm already looking forward to that Saints-Leeds game next Friday, but hammer blow for Saints. No George Whitby, failed that head injury assessment.
Yeah, no George Whitby. Obviously there was a problem with Curtis Irwin. There was a problem with the returning Joe Batchelor, who'd missed the previous 5 games going into this. So 2 strike back rowers, a real gun of a half-back.
Yeah. Here's Felt then from the sideline. Pulls it wide of the target. Tough introduction on the kick in front for Kyle Felt.
You know, he was nailing him in the NRL for years, though, wasn't he? Maybe missed a few here, but well, talk about the young man here, Owen Dagnall. He gets a ball, he goes in for really uncontested, but remember that one, his first try in a Saints jersey in Super League.
Yeah.
And like I said, he's got a massive future, that young man.
He has. Fulham's a little bit more relaxed now. Sangare comes back into the action. And Salford, I don't think they'll go short again, will they, here? The kick is gathered by Lomax, turns and gives it to Wormsley. Wormsley careers forward. Oh, Morgan's done here.
Oh yeah, he is.
Play. I think he's done. Is it a hand, a shoulder? I don't know. He's just
pointed at his shoulder.
Here now, here's a chance for Whitley. Morgan is just walking off. Oh, this doesn't look good. He's just come back on, and there he is. He said straight away, "Get me off the field." Norman Royd will come back on. It's an elbow on it, elbow or wrist, I think, Terry, I'm not sure, but either way, it's no good. Here's Wormsley, gets it away. Here's Tristan Saylor, gets it away to Cross. Cross tries to run round Hill, who makes a good tackle. Been impressed with Sam Hill today. He's put himself about a bit, the youngster. Just his second start, made his debut against Wigan last time out.
I was impressed with him when I saw him on debut. Thought he was very good.
Yeah, short side play, and By is going to hoist it high. Now this is going to be a tester for Connell.
Well
great
taken.
catch, really good catch, Nathan Connell. Well done.
Oh, he had 3 Saints jerseys right in front of him then, didn't he? He did ever so well. Talked about him in the first half, taking a ball over his shoulder. Like, under pressure, he's come up with some big players at the back for Salford.
He has. Here's Vaughan. Not had much joy against his parental club. Here's that catch again, and he's impressed. Ooh, that looked a bit flat, that pass. Connell eyes only for the ball. Can Salford get a consolation? They had chances. They broke the line a couple of times but haven't been able to make the most of those breaks. Will they get another chance? Into the final 10 we go. All here to Masters is just going to, well, it's a midfield bomb almost. Saylor comes forward, will collect it. Gets it away to Dagnall, who heads off infield. He's running across, looking for a gap, but Chan eventually gets his man just short of the halfway line.
It looks like Charlie Glover's gone to the hook and roll for Kai Morgan. He's left the field.
Yeah, here's Robertson, jumps out of dummy half.
Seems to have been the story of this Salford side this year. Players playing out of position, just covering the spaces.
Well, look, if you're a Salford fan and you're here today, you're looking at 17 guys who've given it everything they've got. And as a fan, you can't ask for any more than that. If they're not good enough, they're not good enough. That's life.
Look, put your hand up, get out there, put the jersey on and have a go, and that's what they've done.
Here is Lomax. That ball, was that knocked on by, it was played at by a Salford player. I think the referee might have got this wrong. I think he maybe should have played on here. Did that hit a Salford hand?
Well,
Saylor scored the try. They might challenge the decision, but the fact that he blew up before means a try, even if it is a try, wouldn't count.
Yeah, well, Johnny Lomax was asking for that, wasn't he? He's with you.
I just wonder if you could have let that play a little bit longer there, the ref.
Okay, so we have a captain's challenge. St Helens are challenging the decision of a knock-on. Johnny Lomax in possession. Just going to look at... Okay, Chan isn't playing at the ball. He's putting his arm out to try and effect the tackle on Lomax. That's not a deliberate play at the ball. So the ball then comes loose and it goes forwards. It's challenge unsuccessful.
Well, one look, credit James Vella. He called it, and he called it right. So Salford will get the ball back.
You're disappointed now, aren't you? You got that wrong. Always back the referee, Mark.
All I said, he could have, if he'd have played it, because had it been knocked out, then they've scored a try that didn't count. But fair play to James Vella. He's had a really good game today. Yeah. So no criticism there.
He has, and you know, like when there was a lot of coming together and players like could have been losing the plot and all of a sudden turning into each other, he's done a decent job. And Paul Rowley come down to the sideline from his vantage point. Again, when you talk to him later on, I'm sure he'll be pretty pleased with, do you know, periods in that game, long periods in that game where they've competed. The start of the game probably put them on the back foot.
But once again, when we speak to him after the game, we're going to be asking him about players refusing to play, and that, you know, it must inside, it must be breaking his heart.
Well, the coaches turn up. I've ranted about it so many times this year, the Salford games that I've covered. Like, players go out there, and what you're doing, you've got to make sure that when you sign a contract and you turn up to play, and yeah, there's been payments that have been late, and yeah, players might be going through it, but you're all part of a team. Like, I'd go out there, I've never been in that situation, but I think that I'd go out there and I'd want to play like Chris Hill. I know for a fact Chris Hill this year has played absolutely busted, along with a number of other players. Yeah. But they still go out there and try and do a job. The fans turn up, support them. Never had the biggest of fans, Salford. And Paul Rowley and Kurt Haggerty come in with a smile on the face, trying to get a group of players onto the field to compete. And that's what they're doing, and that's why the fans that turn up, and let me tell you, you will hear them, big round of applause, cheering their side on come the final whistle.
Yeah. I'll go back to the point that I made earlier. If your team give everything they've got, I don't think you can ask for any more than that. Here's Lomax. Oh, that was a scruffy pass. Play on. They got away with one there. Here comes Saints again then. Are they going to sign off in style here ahead of that big clash with Leeds next week? Ball goes forward. Here's Clark, 25 out from the line. 7 remaining here. Delaney finds them by, finds Lees loitering with intent out wide. Saints 40 points to the good. Here's Noah Stevens. He runs it forward. Good tackle from Glover. Plays the ball now to Clark. Has a look. Pinches some meters. Goes short to Moses and by. Maybe needed a bigger body on the end of that little pass.
Yeah, good read from Easton Masters, wasn't it? Stopped him dead in his tracks.
He did. Last one here. Walmsley's waiting. Really slow. Oh, it's a set restart on the last tackle. An absolute coach killer. Here goes Walmsley. He'd love a double. The big forward. Darryl Clark waits. Are there more points incoming here? They're moving it quickly. Ball over the top. Felt takes it in. Another Sailor pass. And Felt decides to make the kick easier for himself. He celebrates. He's got 4. Another Sailor assist. Another Felt finish. The icing on the cake for Saints.
Well, you said it before about that right edge for Saints has been lethal, hasn't it? Kyle Felt going with a lovely take, didn't he? To gather this ball in, and Johnny Lomax pulling the strings again, along with Tristan Sailor. The pass over the top. How many times have we seen that where they just get it wrong? Vaughan and Hankinson. Been a bit aggressive now and again, but if you're aggressive, you've got to get it right. And they haven't done on a number of occasions, and with someone with so much talent and who's been around the block like Kyle Felt, all he knows is he's got to hug that touchline. And the pass from Tristan Sailor under a bit of pressure, he nails it and he finds him. And that's another 4 points, maybe 6 now from the boot of Felt.
Yeah, again, he's brought it about 21 metres out from the try line. He looks to add the extras. 4 for Felt then. And Saints going back into the Super League top 5. The question now, what will be the margin of victory? Well, we're hearing that Kai Morgan has hyperextended his elbow, and they're hopeful there's no big damage, so fingers crossed. As Felt floats one and the flags go up, and it is 46-0. Well, that might be a little bit of respite, because Morgan, he looked forlorn, didn't he, when he went off? He looked as though he was seriously injured. There he is. Yeah,
he did. He tried to go low, and I think it was Alex Walmsley. He come straight back onto the field, got straight back into the action to take Walmsley down. You could just see, look at him, he just goes in and throws everything he can, trying to bring Walmsley down. And straight away the reaction and the call to the sideline saying, I'm done. You know, you see a player react like that, you know that there's something wrong, seriously wrong.
Yeah. Chris Hill gone for a breather. All collected, and by turns and gets it away to Delaney. Another crunching tackle goes in. Plenty more Super League to come. Another busy week next week. The action coming thick and fast. There's an error there from Stevens. State of Origin will kick off the Rugby League week on Wednesday. Queensland, New South Wales, 10 o'clock. Sky Sports action. Then Thursday, we're down at the Jungle. Castleford, Hull Kingston Rovers at 7:30. Sky Sports action. Sky Sports main event. Saints Leeds Friday night, 7:30 on Sky Sports Plus. Wakefield Wigan, 7:55, also Sky Sports Plus. Then on Saturday, it's Warrington against Huddersfield, 2:55, followed by the Dragons take on the Leopards at 5:25. And we're back here on Sunday as Salford take on Hull, 2:55 on Sky Sports Plus. All that to come. Have Salford got a late score? They might have a chance here. Hankinson. Oh, good tackle, Robertson. But it's a penalty. It wasn't a good tackle. They were offside in the end. So Salford will get 6 more from 10 metres out. I don't think anyone would begrudge them a try,
no,
but...
definitely not.
Chan wrapped up 5 away. And Paul Wellens now will be desperate that Saints don't concede.
I was just going to say, the game's not playing on sentiment though, is it?
Yeah.
So for a lot of the neutrals, you want Salford to get over the line here and score some points and give them some reward.
Yare, strong carry. The Leeds man put to the ground, 2 out. Shorrocks gets it away to Briley. Briley out the back to Easton Masters, fires it wide for Hill, nowhere to go. Comfortable enough tackle for Dagnall. Ball back to Masters. Can he produce a bit of magic? Gets the ball to Briley. They've got numbers here. They're going to try and roll the kick in, but Saylor's across. And Saylor, did he touch it over? I think he did in the end.
Yeah, just a bit nervous then.
On.
Yeah, just a bit nervous. It didn't quite have the extra bounce or the power on it that he was hoping for, Tristan Saylor. But look, he probably knows the job's done, isn't it, for Saints now. Without conceding, like you said. With that little bounce that went in favour of Salford. But the big thing for Saints now is not letting Salford get over the try line.
Good dropout, really good dropout. Hill collects it inside his own half. He'll look up, bring it back, and there's a... Oh, he's gone for the kick. He's gone for the kick. He might get a bounce here. Great effort. Brilliant. Gets it.
Love it, love it, love the vision from that young man. Just his second game for Salford. Outstanding.
What do they say about young people having no fear and no respect? That was brilliant. Here's Briley. Is it going to lead? Oh, good shot goes in there. Strong hit.
Yeah, great shot for Johnny Lomax.
Set restart for Salford. Still time for a consolation. Sangare will take it in. They don't want to be nilled again. It's the one win this season for Salford as Sangare wrestles off Delaney. Here's Briley. Briley gets it away. Masters, they've got bodies. Here he is! He is going to get in! Well done, Sam Hill. First Super League try for him. And the Salford Community Stadium erupts with noise. It's been a tough old afternoon, but they enjoyed that one. And it's one of the young guns who scores the try. Great moment for him. Sam Hill, on his second appearance, has got his first Super League try.
Well, a try disallowed against Wigan the last time that they played here, but not to be denied. He started it all off, didn't he? The long kick downfield from Saints. He gets the ball back, he chips it over the top. Brilliant play from that young man. And like you said, no fear, Mark. Just to get that and back yourself and have a little crack at it. He sets up that field position, and then on the back of that now, look at him, he's calling for it out wide. First of all, he was calling for the kick. Then he readjusts, he gets back behind the ball carrier and goes in for the try. Big effort from the young man. And look at that, they erupt, the Salford fans.
Yeah. Well, that'll be it. This will be the last kick of the match for Hankinson. But the Salford fans are defiant right until the last whistle.
Listen to the fans now.
Yeah. Here's Hankinson, waved away, hits the post, and that's it here at the Salford Community Stadium this afternoon. Fitting in many ways that it was Salford who had the final word, but Kyle Felt, his 4 tries really dominated the afternoon's proceedings. 3 goals to boot as well for him. But the win comes at a cost for Saints. Jules Whitby felt a head injury assessment. The Salford fans, as we said, defiant to the very end. They want their club back. What the future holds for Salford, none of us are any the wiser. We'll hear from Paul Rowley shortly. But another win for Saints. They're up into the top 5 in Super League. But they had to wait for their points. They started off brightly and they finished brightly.